Have you ever reached a point in your life where you feel like you've tried everything? You've spoken to people, you've searched for solutions, you've made plans, but deep inside, something still feels unsettled? Your heart is not at ease, your situation is not changing, and you're left wondering what is missing. The truth is, sometimes the issue is not that we haven't tried enough, it's that we haven't turned to Allah in the way we are meant to. There is a way of calling upon Him that changes everything. Not just your situation, but your heart, your peace, your entire direction. Turn to Allah like this and watch what begins to change. Make Allah your first call, not your last. My beloved brothers and sisters, pause for a moment and truly reflect on this. When something suddenly goes wrong in your life, what is your first reaction? Is it panic? Is it reaching out to people? Is it overthinking every possible outcome? Or is it calmly turning to Allah? For many of us, if we are honest, Allah becomes the last option. We exhaust our energy, our emotions, and our thoughts on everything else. And only when we feel completely stuck do we finally raise our hands and say, "Oh Allah, help me." But imagine changing this one habit. Imagine if the very first place your heart runs to is Allah. Before the messages, before the calls, before the decisions, there is a quiet moment where you turn to your Lord and say, "Oh Allah, guide me, help me, open the right door for me." This is not just an action, it is a mindset. It is a shift in how you see your life. You begin to understand that people do not solve your problems. Allah uses people to solve your problems. The outcome is not controlled by circumstances, it is controlled by Allah alone. Allah Himself reminds us in the Quran, is He not the one who responds to the desperate one when he calls upon Him and removes the harm? This is not a question that needs an answer. It is a reminder that there is only one who truly responds when you are in need. Only one who can remove what is weighing you down, no matter how heavy it feels. When you make Allah your first call, something powerful begins to happen within you. Even before your situation changes, your heart changes. The anxiety begins to settle. The confusion begins to clear, and you feel a sense of calm because you know you have turned to the one who is in complete control. And then watch how your actions change. When you go forward after turning to Allah, you move with guidance, not guesswork. You move with trust, not fear. You move with a heart that is connected, not lost. This is the difference between someone who only remembers Allah in desperation and someone who lives with Allah at the center of their life. So train your heart. The next time something happens, no matter how small or how big, let your first instinct be to turn to Allah. Even if it is just a few sincere words from your heart. Because when Allah becomes your first call, you will begin to see how everything else starts falling into place in ways you could never have planned. Speak to Allah with a heart that is completely open. My beloved brothers and sisters, after you have learned to make Allah your first call, the next step is even more powerful. How you speak to Him when you turn to Him. Many people raise their hands, but their hearts are not present. Their words are repeated, but their feelings are hidden. It becomes a routine, something memorized, something quick, and then we wonder why we do not feel a change. Understand this deeply. Allah is not looking at the perfection of your words. He is looking at the truth of your heart. When you stand before Allah, you do not need to pretend. You do not need to sound strong when you are weak. You do not need to hide your pain, your confusion, your fear. In fact, the more real you are, the closer you are to sincerity. If you feel lost, then say, "Oh Allah, I feel lost." If you are overwhelmed, then say, "Oh Allah, I cannot carry this." If you are broken, then admit it completely. Because the one you are speaking to already knows every detail, yet He loves when you turn to Him and express it yourself. Allah says in the Quran, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. This is not just a verse to be read, it is a reality to be felt. Allah is telling you that He is near, not far, not distant, not unreachable. Near to you in your weakest moment, near to you in your quietest whisper. And He responds not to the most perfect words, but to the one who truly calls upon Him. But here is something even deeper to reflect on. When you speak to Allah honestly, you begin to understand yourself better. You begin to recognize what is really inside your heart. You begin to see what you truly need, not just what you think you want. And that is when your dua transforms. It's no longer just words, it becomes a connection. A moment where your heart is fully present, fully open, fully dependent on Allah. And when that happens, even before your situation changes, you feel something shift within you. A calmness enters your heart. A clarity begins to form. A strength you did not have before starts to grow. Because you are no longer carrying everything alone. You have placed it before the one who is capable of carrying all burdens. So the next time you raise your hands, do not rush. Do not just repeat. Pause, feel, speak. Let your heart lead your words. Because when you speak to Allah with a heart that is truly open, you are not just making dua, you are building a connection that has the power to change everything. Call upon Allah with unshakable certainty. My beloved brothers and sisters, after learning to turn to Allah first and to speak to Him with honesty, there is something even deeper that determines whether your dua transforms your life or remains just words on your tongue, and that is certainty. Not weak hope, not a passing thought, but a firm, unshakable conviction that Allah hears you, knows you, and is qadr over every single detail of your situation. Reflect carefully. How many times have you raised your hands, but deep inside there was a quiet doubt whispering, will this really change anything? You may not say it out loud, but it sits in the heart. And that doubt becomes a barrier between you and the full power of your dua. Because when you call upon Allah, you are not calling upon someone limited. You are calling upon the one who created the heavens and the earth, the one who controls every outcome, the one who can change your situation in a moment, even if everything around you suggests otherwise. Certainty means you understand that what is impossible for you is effortless for Allah. It means when you look at your problem, you do not measure it by your ability, you measure it by Allah's power. And when that realization settles in your heart, your entire way of making dua changes. You no longer speak with hesitation. You no longer feel like you are asking for too much. You no longer limit your requests out of fear that they cannot happen. Instead, you raise your hands knowing that you are asking the most generous, the most powerful, the one who loves to give. And this certainty is not built overnight. It is built through knowing Allah, through reflecting on His names and attributes, through remembering the countless times He has already helped you in ways you did not expect. Think about your own life. There were moments you thought you would never get through, yet somehow you did. Doors opened that you never imagined. Ease came from places you never planned. That was not coincidence. That was Allah. So why doubt Him now? Certainty also means that even if the answer does not come in the way you expect, you still trust that Allah has responded in the best way for you. Because your belief is not only that Allah can answer, but that He answers with wisdom. And this brings a powerful sense of peace, because now you are not just making dua hoping something happens. You are making dua knowing that something is already being arranged for you. And when you live with that level of certainty, your heart becomes stronger, your patience becomes easier, your trust becomes deeper. You stop feeling alone in your struggles because you know you have turned to the one who never abandons you. So the next time you raise your hands, remove every trace of doubt from your heart. Do not let your thoughts limit your Lord. Call upon Allah with full certainty. Believe in His power. Believe in His mercy. Believe that He can change everything even when you cannot see how. Because when certainty enters your dua, it brings life to your connection with Allah, and that is when real change begins to unfold. Stay connected to Allah in every state of your life. My beloved brothers and sisters, what we have spoken about so far builds a powerful foundation, but now we come to something that sustains it, protects it, and elevates it to a level where your entire life begins to revolve around your connection with Allah. And that is this: you do not only turn to Allah in moments of need, you remain connected to Him in every state. Because many people know how to call upon Allah when they are drowning, but very few remember Him when they are floating. When life becomes easy, when things begin to go your way, when the stress reduces and the pressure lifts, slowly, quietly, without even realizing it, the connection weakens, the urgency disappears. The hands that were once raised frequently begin to lower. The heart that once cried out begins to settle into distraction. And this is where many people lose what they once had. Understand this deeply. The one who truly sees change in their life is not the one who remembers Allah only in hardship, but the one who remembers Him in both hardship and ease. When you are happy, you thank Him sincerely, not just with words, but with awareness that this happiness is from Him. When you achieve something, you humble yourself before Him, knowing that without His permission, nothing would have come your way. When you wake up in peace, when your heart feels light, when your life seems stable, you still turn to Allah with the same sincerity, the same humility, the same dependence, because you understand something powerful. The one who gave you ease can take it away, and the one who protected you before can continue to protect you, but only if you remain connected. Allah reminds us of a reality that many overlook. If you are grateful, I will surely increase you. This is not just about saying thank you. This is about living in a state of recognition where every blessing draws you closer to Allah, not further away. And here is where the transformation becomes deeper. When you stay connected to Allah in every state, your relationship with Him becomes consistent. It is no longer based on circumstances. It is no longer dependent on whether things are going well or not. It becomes a part of who you are. You begin to remember Allah in small moments, in silence, in decisions, in thoughts that no one else hears. Your heart starts to turn to Him naturally without forcing it. And because of that, when a difficulty comes, and it will come, you are not starting from a place of distance. You are not trying to rebuild something that was lost. You are already connected. And this makes a huge difference. Because now, when you raise your hands, it is not a stranger calling out, it is a servant who has been in constant remembrance. And Allah loves that consistency. He loves the servant who turns to Him regularly, not only when they are in need. And this is where you begin to notice something remarkable. Your life starts to feel different. Even before anything major changes, there is a calmness that stays with you, a sense of stability in your heart. A quiet strength that carries you through both good times and difficult times, because your connection is no longer temporary, it is continuous. So train yourself, my beloved brothers and sisters. Do not wait for hardship to remember Allah. Do not let ease make you forget Him. Remember Him when you wake up. Remember Him when you rest. Remember Him when you succeed. Remember Him when you struggle. Build that constant connection. Because when you stay connected to Allah in every state, you are not just turning to Him, you are walking with Him through every part of your life. And when you walk with Allah, you will begin to see changes not only around you, but deep within you. Changes that remain, changes that grow, changes that shape your entire existence. Let go of what is holding you back from Allah. My beloved brothers and sisters, there is a reality that many of us avoid, even though deep down we are aware of it. We ask ourselves why our lives are not changing, why our hearts still feel heavy, why our du'as do not seem to bring the transformation we are hoping for, yet we do not pause long enough to look within. Because sometimes the issue is not that you are not making dua. The issue is that you are holding on to what is silently blocking its impact. You want closeness to Allah, but there are things in your life that distance you from Him. You want your heart to feel light, but there are habits that keep weighing it down. You want peace, but there are choices you continue to make that disturb that peace again and again. And the truth is, no matter how much you ask, if you are not willing to let go of what is harming your connection, you will continue to feel stuck in the same place. Reflect honestly. There are things you do when no one is watching. There are actions you justify even though you know they are wrong. There are moments when your conscience speaks clearly, but you silence it and continue anyway. And Allah sees all of it, not to expose you, not to embarrass you, but because He is waiting for you to turn back sincerely. Letting go of sin is not just about following rules, it is about freeing your heart. Because every sin leaves a mark. It creates a distance, it builds a barrier between you and the closeness you are seeking. And over time, if it is not addressed, that barrier becomes heavier. Your heart begins to feel less connected. Your dua begins to feel less alive. Your remembrance becomes weaker. But the moment you decide to let go, sincerely, honestly, even if it is difficult, something powerful begins to happen. Your heart starts to soften again. That heaviness begins to lift. That distance begins to close. Because Allah loves when His servant returns. No matter how many times you have fallen, no matter how long you have been holding on to something, the door back to Allah is always open. But it requires courage. It requires you to admit, oh Allah, I know this is wrong. I have struggled with it. I have returned to it again and again, but I want to leave it for your sake. And even if you slip again, you return again and again and again. Because this journey is not about being perfect overnight. It is about being sincere consistently. And here is something beautiful to reflect on. When you leave something for the sake of Allah, He does not just take it away. He replaces it with something better. A better feeling, a cleaner heart, a stronger connection, a sense of dignity that you did not feel before. And slowly, your life begins to shift. The things that once had a hold on you begin to lose their power. The habits that once felt impossible to leave start to fade. The environment around you begins to change because you are changing. And this is where your du'as begin to feel different. Because now, when you raise your hands, you are not just asking, you are aligning your actions with your words. You are showing Allah that you are serious, that you are willing to move towards Him, not just call out to Him. And Allah promises something incredible. And those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways. This is a promise, a guarantee that when you make the effort, when you struggle to leave what displeases Him, Allah will open new paths for you. Paths you could not see before. Opportunities you did not expect, ease that you did not plan. So do not underestimate the power of letting go. It may feel small in the moment. It may feel difficult at first, but it carries a weight in your life that you cannot imagine. Because when you remove what is blocking your connection with Allah, you allow His guidance, His mercy, and His help to flow into your life more clearly. So take that step, my beloved brothers and sisters. Identify what is holding you back. Be honest with yourself and begin, even if it is slowly, to let it go. Because when you let go for the sake of Allah, you are not losing anything. You are making space for something far greater to enter your life. Trust Allah completely, even when you don't understand. My beloved brothers and sisters, there comes a stage in your journey where you have turned to Allah, you have spoken to Him sincerely, you have removed doubt, you have built consistency, and you have begun letting go of what distances you from Him. Yet there is still one test that remains, and it is often the hardest of them all. It is the test of trusting Allah when you do not understand what He is doing in your life. This is the moment where many hearts begin to shake. Because when things go according to your plan, trust feels easy. When the answer comes quickly, when the door opens exactly how you imagined, when life flows in the direction you wanted, you say, I trust Allah, and it feels natural. But what about when the opposite happens? What about when you make dua with sincerity and days pass, weeks pass, even months pass, and nothing seems to change? What about when the door you were hoping for closes completely? What about when something you wanted so badly is taken away from you? This is where true trust is tested. Because trusting Allah is not about saying it when things are easy. It is about believing it when things are unclear. And understand this deeply. Allah sees what you do not see. He knows what you do not know. He understands the outcome of every path, every choice, every possibility, long before you even begin to think about it. You see the present, Allah sees the future. You feel the moment, Allah knows the consequences. So when something does not go your way, it is not a sign that Allah has ignored you. It is a sign that Allah has chosen something different for you. And the question is, can you trust that His choice is better than yours? Reflect on your own life. There were things you once wanted desperately, and today you are grateful you did not get them. There were moments you thought were the end, but they became the beginning of something better. At that time, you did not understand. At that time, it hurt. At that time, it felt confusing. But now, when you look back, you see the wisdom. So why do we struggle to trust Allah with our present when our past is full of evidence of His mercy? Trusting Allah means you reach a point where you say, oh Allah, I do not understand this situation. I do not see the outcome. I do not know why this is happening, but I know you are wise. I know you are merciful. I know you will not let me down. This is a different level of turning to Allah, because now your relationship is not based on outcomes. It is based on who Allah is. And this brings a deep sense of peace into your heart. Even if your situation is still difficult, your heart feels lighter. Even if the answer has not come yet, you feel calm. Even if things are not going your way, you are not breaking inside. Because your trust is not in the situation, it is in Allah. And when you reach this level, something beautiful begins to happen. You stop rushing, you stop forcing, you stop trying to control everything. Instead, you continue making dua, you continue taking the right steps, but your heart is settled. You are no longer desperate in a way that breaks you. You are hopeful in a way that strengthens you. And Allah loves this kind of servant. The one who continues to turn to Him, not just when they receive what they want, but even when they do not yet understand what is happening. And know this, my beloved brothers and sisters, no sincere dua is ever wasted. Every call you make is heard. Every tear you shed is seen. Every moment you turn to Allah is recorded. Sometimes the answer comes in the form you asked for. Sometimes it comes in a different form. Sometimes it is delayed. And sometimes it is stored for something greater that you cannot yet see. But in every case, Allah responds with wisdom, with mercy, and with knowledge that is far beyond ours. So do not lose hope. Do not let delay make you doubt. Do not let difficulty make you think that Allah has forgotten you. Rather, let it bring you closer. Let it deepen your trust. Let it strengthen your connection. Because the longer you hold on with sincerity, the more you will see the beauty of Allah's plan unfold in ways you never imagined. And one day, you will look back at this very moment, the confusion, the waiting, the uncertainty, and you will understand why Allah chose this path for you. And you will say with a heart full of certainty, oh Allah, you were right and I was wrong. Your plan was always better than mine. So continue to turn to Allah. Continue to trust Him, even when it is hard, even when it is unclear, even when everything inside you is asking questions. Because when you truly trust Allah, you are never lost. You are simply being guided step by step to exactly where you are meant to be. Surrender completely and let Allah take control. My beloved brothers and sisters, after everything we have spoken about, we arrive at the most powerful stage of all. The stage that brings everything together. The stage that transforms not only your situation, but your entire way of living. It is the stage of complete surrender. Not partial surrender, not conditional surrender, not surrender only when things make sense, but a full, deep, sincere handing over of your heart, your plans, your fears, your hopes to Allah. This is where many people struggle because we like control. We like to feel like we know what is happening. We like to plan every step, to predict every outcome, to hold on to what we think is best for us. And when things begin to move differently, when life does not follow the path we imagined, we feel uncomfortable, we feel uneasy. We try harder to control, to fix, to force things back into what we wanted. But here is the reality. Peace does not come from controlling everything. Peace comes from trusting the one who is already in control of everything. Surrender means you reach a point where you say with full honesty, oh Allah, I have tried, I have planned, I have made effort, but now I place it all in your hands. Guide me to what is best and make me content with it. And this is not a statement of weakness, it is a statement of strength, because it takes strength to let go of your own control and trust Allah's control. It takes strength to accept that your knowledge is limited, but Allah's knowledge is complete. It takes strength to release your attachment to outcomes and attach your heart to the one who decides those outcomes. And when you truly surrender, something incredible happens inside you. The anxiety begins to fade. That constant tension, that feeling of needing to figure everything out, that pressure that sits in your chest, it begins to ease. Because now you are not carrying everything alone. You have handed it over to Allah. And understand this deeply. Surrender does not mean you stop trying. It does not mean you sit back and do nothing. You still make effort. You still take the right steps. You still strive to improve your situation. But your heart is no longer attached to the result of your effort. Your heart is attached to Allah. This is the difference. Before, your peace depended on things going your way. Now, your peace depends on knowing that whatever way Allah chooses is the best way. And this creates a calmness that nothing in this world can give. Because even when things go wrong, you are not shaken. Even when plans change, you are not broken. Even when life becomes difficult, you are not lost. Because you have anchored your heart to Allah. And this is what true reliance looks like. It is not just saying, I trust Allah while still trying to control everything inside. It is actually letting go internally while continuing to act externally. It is walking through life with effort in your hands and trust in your heart. And when you live like this, you begin to see changes that go far beyond what you expected. Your reactions change. The things that used to disturb you deeply no longer have the same effect. Your patience grows. You are able to endure difficulties without feeling like you are collapsing. Your perspective changes. You begin to see challenges as part of a bigger plan, not random events. And most importantly, your heart finds a level of peace that is not dependent on circumstances. This is the peace that people spend their entire lives searching for. And it is found in surrender. But let us go even deeper. True surrender also means accepting what has already happened. Many people are stuck not because of their present, but because of their past. They hold on to regret, onto mistakes, onto moments they wish they could change. They replay it in their minds again and again, asking what if and if only. But surrender means you accept that what has passed was allowed by Allah for a reason. It may have been a lesson, it may have been a test, it may have been a protection from something worse. You may not fully understand it, but you accept it. And when you accept it, you free yourself from the weight of the past. You stop carrying what you were never meant to carry. You stop fighting something that has already been written. And instead you move forward with trust. This is part of surrender. Surrender also means being content with what Allah gives you in the present. Not comparing your life to others. Not constantly feeling like you are behind or missing out or lacking something. Because you understand that Allah distributes differently to different people. What someone else has may not be good for you. What you have may be exactly what you need. So instead of focusing on what is missing, you begin to appreciate what is already there. And this gratitude strengthens your connection with Allah even more. And then comes the future. Surrender means you stop fearing the unknown. You stop worrying excessively about what is going to happen, how things will turn out, what lies ahead. Because you know that the one who took care of you in the past and is taking care of you now will also take care of you in what is to come. So your heart rests, not because you have all the answers, but because you trust the one who does. My beloved brothers and sisters, when you reach this level of surrender, your entire life changes. Not necessarily because everything around you becomes perfect, but because everything inside you becomes steady. You become a person who is not easily shaken, a person who carries peace within them, a person whose connection with Allah is strong, consistent, and unbreakable. And from this place, everything else begins to fall into place. Your decisions become clearer because you are seeking guidance sincerely. Your relationships improve because you are not acting out of desperation or insecurity. Your struggles become easier to bear because you know they are temporary and meaningful. And your heart finally feels at rest. So surrender to Allah, my beloved brothers and sisters, not just with your words, but with your heart. Let go of the need to control everything. Let go of the fear of the unknown. Let go of the attachment to outcomes and place it all in the hands of the one who never makes a mistake. Because when you truly surrender to Allah, you are not losing control. You are being taken care of in the most perfect way possible. And that is when you will begin to see that everything you were searching for was always found in turning to Him, trusting Him, and surrendering completely to His plan. May Allah grant us hearts that truly surrender, souls that truly trust, and lives that are guided by His wisdom in every moment. Ameen. My beloved brothers and sisters, if there is one thing I want you to take from everything you have heard, it is this. Do not leave this as words you listen to. Make it a way you live. Because turning to Allah is not something you do once and forget. It is something you build, something you protect, something you return to again and again until it becomes the strongest part of who you are. There will be days when you feel strong and days when you feel weak. Days when your heart is full and days when it feels distant. But no matter what state you are in, never stop turning back to Allah. Even if you fall, return. Even if you feel empty, return. Even if you think you are not worthy, return. Because Allah is not looking for perfection from you. He is looking for sincerity. And the one who keeps returning no matter how many times they fall is the one who will find the door always open. So start from today, not tomorrow, not when things get better, not when you feel ready. Start now. Turn to Allah with a heart that is real. Speak to Him with honesty. Call upon Him with certainty. Stay connected to Him in every moment. Let go of what distances you from Him. Trust His timing and surrender completely to His plan. And then watch, not just how your situation changes, but how you change. How your heart becomes lighter. How your mind becomes calmer. How your life begins to take a direction you could never have planned on your own. Because when Allah becomes the center of your life, everything else finds its place around Him. May Allah guide our hearts back to Him in the most beautiful way. Keep us firm in our connection with Him. Accept every sincere call we make and grant us a peace that remains with us in every moment of our lives. Oh Allah, we turn to You with hearts that are in need, hearts that are weak, hearts that are searching for Your closeness. Oh Allah, forgive us for the times we forgot You, for the times we turned to everything before turning to You, for the moments we relied on ourselves more than we relied on You. Oh Allah, purify our hearts from every sin that distances us from You. Remove from our lives anything that displeases You and replace it with that which brings us closer to You. Oh Allah, grant us the strength to leave what is wrong even when it is difficult, and make us among those who choose You over their desires. Oh Allah, teach us how to turn to You sincerely. Teach us how to speak to You with honesty, how to call upon You with certainty, and how to trust You even when we do not understand. Oh Allah, remove every doubt from our hearts and fill it with complete reliance upon You. Oh Allah, grant us patience in our intidar and make us among those who trust Your timing without losing hope. Oh Allah, for every dua we have made, accept it in the best way. If what we ask for is good for us, grant it to us. And if it is not, then replace it with something far better and make us content with Your decree. O Allah, place peace in our hearts that no hardship can remove. Grant us a connection with You that remains strong in every moment, in ease and in difficulty. Do not let our hearts drift away after You have guided us. O Allah, we surrender our affairs to You. We place our worries, our fears, our future, and everything we carry into Your hands. Guide us to what is best and make us satisfied with whatever You choose for us. O Allah, forgive our sins, accept our repentance, and grant us a beautiful ending. Gather us among those who are close to You, whose hearts are attached to You, and whose lives are guided by Your light. O Allah, bless us with goodness in this world and the next. Protect us from every harm and grant us Jannah without hisab. Amen.